Welcome to Retro Ranger Wrap Up. We are back on YouTube.
Yes!
Daniel is also back. You were at your niece's recital last week, right?
Yes, I was, and I regret it because I hate children's recitals. I really do. I am not a fan of them because you have to watch them be like, they're not succinct with their movements, and they don't sing.
Daniel.
They don't, yeah, well, then why are they putting on shows? That's the question.
You know,
and,
I have that same exact feeling when we are watching Turbo. You guys tuned in last week. I am not a fan of Turbo. For one, I take it back. For two major reasons. Number one has to be Justin's character. I felt like we were regressing. I wanted the Rangers to grow and become like young adults and deal with like more complex issues in their life. And we regressed and we got like a 5-year-old child who is now in high school doing the Doogie Howser thing.
Which is weird though because it's like, here, hey, we're adults that are just hanging out with this kid. You know, like,
and you know
not
what?
the best.
I don't want to be rude. I definitely missed you last week.
Yeah.
But I had such a good time with Johnny. I want to welcome our guests for this week. Johnny Dope Kicks is back.
Oh, hey,
what's up, everybody?
Oh, hey, look at that.
I had such a great time, too. Good to see you get out.
What's up?
What's up, Daniel?
Hey, what's up, Summer Me? Like people say that. Hey, what's up, Summer Me?
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, no, you did an amazing job, man. Last week, you were able to really break down the film, and on top of that, the 3 episodes, and you did it so. Once again, using the word succinctly.
But being critical, but with like that good eye, where it's like want to elevate it. I want to elevate it too. I'm critical kind of in the negative realm instead of the positive realm. As you know, like we were talking about the intro, I'm not a super huge fan compared to the 2 previous intros.
Wait, so how'd you feel about the intro?
Okay, I enjoy the intro. I don't know the rest of the song. Turbo. Yeah, see? There you go. It's like, dude, okay. I was excited.
It sounds better when you sing it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just saying.
I was excited when they bring the whole freaking, like, everything that happened in the movie into the actual show. They learned from the first movie, where it was like, hey, the first movie didn't happen. Let's continue on with the film. And you're like, what? This time they were like, yeah, we're going to take even the production stuff, and we're going to bring it here. We didn't spend this money on building and making these things, like the costumes and blah, blah, and then not use them after that? No, we're going to definitely use them. We're going to go ahead and bring them right here and use them. Like, it made sense. And that's why I was like, I think I really did like it. I like fiscal responsibility. That's what I love. And that's what they showed me here in Power Rangers. And the Justin thing is that whole thing of anybody can be a Ranger, but no one likes him. So it's not working out.
And I hate it because it's like, I feel like he's a good kid. I feel like his acting is okay. The writing for him is just, it makes it like that Anakin Skywalker issue where he's kind of whiny and a know-it-all and crazy pretentious and almost condescending even though he's a child. And I feel like the other Rangers have to baby him. Like they feel obligated to kind of like, oh, it's okay, Justin. Things will be all right. And they're doing kind of more like a PSA.
Fix your boxcar.
Yeah. It's stuff like that where I wish the writing was elevated.
I hated that one. Oh my god. She was saying that like out of the 3, that was the one we all hated the most.
Watching these episodes, watching this series, I feel like, you know, existence is pain, and I want to do a shout out to Toink for these amazing mugs. This is my favorite mug.
Nice.
But yeah, and I feel like this reflects how I feel about Turbo, unfortunately. But look at him, Mr. Meeseeks.
Doug Sloan probably wishes he had Mr. Meeseeks in the room when he was writing the show, because Mr. Meeseeks, I won't let up until you do it. You know,
exactly.
until
you do it right. Until you prove it.
There's a bunch
of actual characterization.
I think
and a plot line that makes sense.
I think that's actually where they got that whole episode from. Mr. Meeseeks probably did exist, and he probably did like end up multiplying and killing himself trying to help Doug Sloan get this season off the off the ground.
It's just so rough. Because honestly, like, as I was watching these episodes, I wanted to get into them. But again, it was just so much like, it feels like whereas like with Zeo, everything elevated and like the characterization elevated.
This one
it was like the story, exactly, big time. It feels like the writers are like, yo, we have a successful TV show. We got the toys out. We ain't gonna never get canceled. We can do what we want to do.
We need to appeal to kids. Like, we don't want to appeal to teens anymore or like that kind of adolescent age. We want to appeal to the younger audience because they're the ones that are going to bug their parents to get the toys for Christmas. And that's when they brought in
Justin. And see, but that's really messed up that because again, to be honest again, like I grew up watching Power Rangers and I remember watching Turbo. I had just got out of high school, but I was still like, I still been watching this because I remember Gargoyles was coming on at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So Gargoyles is effing amazing. This deep dark storyline. But then I'm looking at this, I'm like, what the hell is Justin doing here? Yeah. And so as I was watching this episode, you guys give me your feedback on this. As I was watching that third episode, I was like, you know what? Real talk. Warren would be a better Blue Ranger.
Who?
Warren.
Oh, the kid, the bully kid. The bully kid.
Because I was like, think about it. If let's say the bully kid was the Blue Ranger, all of a sudden the team is trying to redeem this like little bully kid, try to teach him what it means to be a good person, what it means to be a hero. Where he's like, why can't we just beat up the aliens? Why can't we hunt them down? Exactly. So you have like this little psychopath that you have to control.
And I feel like they brought that into Go-Go, the comics.
Oh yeah,
the little backstory on Jason, which I thought was super good. And you think that he's going to be just automatically good, and I feel like that was a good point because it works so well in the comics, and you really instantly sympathize with Jason. And know, like, hey, even though you're a hero now, you had your growing pains, and you know, and you've learned to be a better person. So I totally agree with you.
And that would be a whole season that with Warren, seeing him become a hero, seeing him grow. Whereas with Justin, he's just generic. He's just vanilla.
But see, that's why I wanted Bulk and Skull to eventually become Rangers, since they kind of knew they were always on the outskirts of being friends with them, being enemies, being bullies, and like wanting to help them, wanting to be genuine, and like watch their characters grow.
But see, this is the problem though. With that being the case, is like if they did make that bully kid the Ranger, then they would all just kind of gather around and make fun of Justin's like bowl cut. And it just wouldn't be nice for anybody. And look at that dork. He's like, oh, I'm crying. Your non-existent parents aren't here. You know, because he has no parents. I don't care what anybody
he doesn't. And he's like a grade school child who's able to do all of these things. I kind of feel like as Rangers, I would feel like, hey, you know, it's a huge sacrifice. They all know that they have to sacrifice things that they want to do in order to be Rangers. Yeah. And to balance that and to give this kid that kind of responsibility, I feel like doesn't really make sense. And I feel like if I were Zordon, I don't know what happened in that movie, but I'd be like, nope.
He's a genius, though.
No, really?
Like Billy was.
What has he done that's been Doogie Howser-esque?
He made a tracker. He fixed Tommy's car.
He broke Tommy's car.
Well, okay, let's get into it because we got 3 episodes this week. And we are doing Shadow Rangers. We are going to do Transmission Impossible and the Rally Ranger. These are 3 episodes. Let's just get into it. We kind of jumping around, but I feel like...
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the Shadow Ranger episode. How'd you guys feel about this?
I actually really like this episode. I like this villain because they've done a lot of doppelganger Rangers.
Yes.
And this is the first time where it didn't end the way I thought it was, but for a quick second, it was creepy that how they arose and they weren't people, they were shadows. So I thought that they would have all their abilities, all their mental thinking. So when they first came up, and I was like, especially with this guy that's like, ooh, I'm flamboyant. I want to like do all this
Flamboyant.
stuff.
It's a word. I am making sure to coin that phrase.
Yes.
He was glamorous.
In your
and he was
Instagram
flamboyant.
stories,
That's right.
The glamboyant.
He was glamboyant because he shows up like, hey everybody, watch out. I was like,
okay,
what's going on here?
It's super interesting to have a darker side of exact copies of them. Yeah. It didn't turn out that way, and the way they were defeated was super weak.
Dude, also on top of that, the civilian fight. Like having them in, not morph and having the fight against the morph ones, it was so good because everyone was pulling their weight except for Cat. Everyone was doing really good, and then when it came to Cat, all Cat did was kick, block, kick, block. Kick, block, and one leg kick. It was always the right. It was kick, block, kick, block. Tanya's over here, and then Adam. Oh my God!
Adam, aka the new Jason. Hold it down.
Oh my God!
Martial arts in real life, and I feel like in the episodes too, like previous to this, you saw Tanya asking Adam, like, "Hey, I don't really know a lot. Can you teach me some martial arts?" Versus you have Cat. That's why I was like, "Oh, Tommy will save me. Oh, Tommy."
Again,
I'm like, "Yo, girl, you are the weakest link. You need to up your game. Like every moment that you're not doing something, you need to be training. You are here to save Earth." And you're not doing a good job.
No,
girl.
she's really not. Like as I was looking at this, it's crazy to think she's been 3 Rangers. Yeah. She had the original peak powers. She went to Zeo, and now she's at Turbo. It's like, bruh, really?
Yeah.
And Tanya came out of nowhere, where she was just like, I'm transported here now because Aisha was like, yo, I'm gonna stay in Africa and I'm here.
Yeah, like it's vacation.
It's like somebody's gotta save Africa. Might as well be me.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna send Billy.
But as I watched the episode, like I had a couple problems with you guys and your feedback. Number one, like. Here's the thing. It started off with her nephew marrying the villainess of they had a wedding at the beginning. Remember? They walked in arm in arm. They had just got married. They're throwing rice and everything.
Wait, who was
the glam guy? The glam villain.
Oh yeah.
They got married, and I was like, Wait, what?
Wait, he got married to who? He got married to
the big log dude.
Yeah, the guy. Okay.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird to me because I was like,
I just glazed over that because I don't remember that.
Oh, no,
I was watching that.
That didn't make sense to me, so I was like, I'm done.
No, because I watched it, I was like, is this the first LGBTQ marriage in Power Rangers?
I think so, and no one really took the time to think about it.
And I thought it was going to play a part later on.
Elgar was like happy as I don't know what, arm in arm with what's his name?
The
And his dad was like, don't they make a lovely couple? And I was like,
yeah, right.
All right, okay. So that was one thing because I thought it was going to come into play later on. Like Elgar was like, no,
my love, man.
Exactly.
But Elgar don't care. Elgar was just like, well, all right, I'm single again.
He's like, what's the next one?
But yeah, they glazed over that like nothing. So I kind of was like, what?
I
feel you.
Yeah.
But it caught my eye like because one of those things like in writing is like every scene is supposed to serve a purpose to move the story forward.
Anton Chekhov, if you have a gun on the wall, it better be.
Yes.
Good job.
Bravo.
So the thing about this, looking at that, I was like, you didn't need that. You set this up, and it was kind of like, what was the purpose of that? The second thing I had with this issue, I agree with you. I like the fighting.
Yeah.
I like the Shadow Rangers here. That was pretty cool. I was surprised they did it so early, but then for people who know where the series is going, it kind of made sense why they did the doppelganger episode
They
early.
do it like every couple seasons. You have to have a doppelganger episode.
Of course.
It's better than like those Rangers.
Oh my god!
The Dark Rangers.
The Dark Rangers. They had
They're my favorite though. Out of all doppelgangers, Dark Rangers with the janky masks and they had the red eyes cut out that weren't even. They are by far will always be my favorite doppelganger enemy. But these guys, like legit, I was like, oh, I'm kind of worried. Like instantaneously, I was like, oh, there's shadows. There's shadows.
Yeah,
of
and
the
you
Rangers.
get it. And it was like, that's where it was like, okay, great. I always love the whole thing where it's like fighting one of your own. So fighting a mirror image of you is also great.
Yeah.
Because they have your skills. It's beautiful.
Yes.
I love it. And then we have Dimitria, who shows up and
ask questions.
Immediately.
I like how Tommy shuts her down and is like, yo, Zordon used to just tell us what to do. I don't know why you beating around the bush, woman.
Exactly.
Like, he was like, all right, I'm done with you.
And that's the thing,
I'm
too.
already done with
It's
you.
like she acts like she can't ask questions to lead all the way. It's like, so what are they?
Yeah.
What are they made of? So they're made of light. How do you destroy light? You can ask questions to help them get to the answer.
But she's
not
super
doing that.
vague, and she was like, you know, all of these other random things that like don't have anything to do with actually helping you out. And then you got Alpha 6. Or you know I don't like Alpha 6. Yo! What's up? I am so 90s. And I'm like,
what?
yo.
And that's usually that was my other problem. I was just like, this doesn't make any sense.
He's not helpful. She's not helpful.
And this led to my third problem. So without a science person being here anymore, without a Billy, everybody's a science person now.
Yeah,
so
like Adam.
Exactly. Adam was like, I'm scared for him.
Yeah.
When the hell did you learn to do that?
Yeah.
And then Tommy's like, I'm able to figure this
Dude,
out. How?
Okay.
Tommy was the one that was like the weakest, like intellectually before Rocky came along.
Tommy was like, okay, there's dumb, and then here comes Rocky was stupid. So that was like, that's what we had. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Tommy's like, I can work. No, you can't. You're always late to school. You were blah. I'm shocked you graduated. In fact, no, I think they covered it up. He didn't graduate. He didn't graduate.
No, he got
failed.
a diploma. They
said that, and I think they said that to make it look good. No, Tommy's an idiot.
To just be like, exactly. Keep it up. Don't worry about it, Justin.
Tommy's an idiot. Tommy's an idiot, but Justin looks up to him. So what they did was to make Tommy look good. They said, "Oh yeah, he picked up his diploma earlier." That's not the truth, because Kaplan would have been like, "I want to see you walk." You know, Kaplan would have said that because you are a shock to me.
No.
That
What
you
about his
graduated.
family would have wanted to see his walk?
Tommy
Tommy
doesn't have a family. His brother is.
No, he's chasing eagles.
Exactly.
And then his brother went back to the reservation.
Yeah,
he didn't want to come back to see Tommy.
Proud whatever has become part one with the Zeo crystal. So whatever. So Tommy has no family, and you know that's why Justin and him get so well together, because Justin secretly has no family. So that's why he looks up to him like, oh my god,
he's like, I can grow to be you, a loner with no one. Yay!
Yes, and I love fast cars.
Nobody does it because he was like, hey, guess what? My shoelaces are stuck, and I totally blew up your race car. You're expensive. And Tommy's like, yo, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. And he's like, I can't do it.
No, and that's the thing. He's like, is this just revving? I was like, no. It's just like, Justin, stop revving. No. Justin, stop revving. No. Tommy, walk your ass over there and take his foot off the gas.
How hard is that?
Come on, man.
And then I like at the end, too, where he's like, man, that's gonna take a lot of work to fix, huh? And Tommy's like, no, don't worry about it. Well, I'll do it. I'll get started out. And I bet Tommy's like, God damn it, you little twerp.
No, the sponsor walks in. It's like, the fuck were you doing putting a child behind the wheel in the first place? What were you thinking?
Like, his legs are short. He can't even touch the pedals. Why would you... Send that kid to Autopia.
Exactly.
He don't belong
Why would
here.
you do it? I was like, why would you put that kid behind the wheel of a car? Why would you give that kid a morpher? Why would you expect to be a ranger?
Yes.
Lots of problems with Justin.
Yes. The only
That's why
reason-
Zordon was like, yo, I know my planet's going to be coming around. I'm going to peace out soon. I don't care who the last ranger is. I ain't got to worry about it.
Zordon-
That would be kind of gangster.
Yeah.
If Zordon, they were
Yeah.
like, Zordon, why do we have these turbo powers and we have the zero powers? You asked me the question. Shut the fuck up.
Right,
I gotta go.
Zordon, why are you giving us Justin? Why not go get? Shut the fuck up. Just go do what I gotta do.
Right,
And then he's like, all right, I've had enough of these fucking kids with attitudes. Let's leave us Alpha.
I know, but I was like, he was like, my planet needs me. I got to go now. And he just pieces out.
Dude, I love how...
And Alpha too, because it's not like he made Alpha. Alpha could have saved me.
No, Alpha knew what was going to happen. I was like, I'm not staying for this shit.
Yep. But the thing is, see, with this season, we had so many goodbyes that were so quick and rushed and hurried.
But
Zordon,
not as much as
Alpha,
the one at the end of this episode.
Yes! Zordon, Alpha, and of course, last but not least, we ended up saying goodbye to Ernie without even seeing Ernie. They wrote him off screen. He had an off-screen death, essentially.
It's because this wasn't because he passed in real life,
I don't know,
right?
was it?
Or was he written off like this before, or was it because he couldn't come in and say his goodbye?
I wonder. I don't know if that was it.
If any of you in the chat know the answer to this question or could like Google that really quick, I'm really curious.
Because I do know Ernie did sadly enough pass away.
Yes,
yeah.
But I don't think it's around this time. I think it might have just been a natural transition. But yeah.
But I mean, not a natural transition, like a really abrupt transition, but a transition nonetheless.
Why did Lieutenant Stone quit the Force after he literally worked so hard to bring him and Bulk Skull back?
Well, no, because he was fired because they wanted to date the general, the lieutenant, not lieutenant, but whoever the chief of police daughter. And he was like, hey, if they hit on her one more time, you're fired.
Yeah,
so that's when they started out their own detective agency.
Yeah.
but I don't know what happened to their detective agency.
No, but then remember,
He's a businessman.
but remember
Lieutenant
when they brought the show back on Turbo,
Yeah.
episode 3 or 1 or 2, whatever, before they turned those two into monkeys. They were cops again.
Yeah.
He was a cop again.
So how did he lose?
He was an actual cop.
Yeah,
Oh,
he just quit the Force. He just quit the Force to take over the juice shop. It was like, why did you do that when you were just there as like you just got this thing that was your it was your identifier. That's what you were, Lieutenant Stone. Now, again, you are no longer Lieutenant Stone.
He's just Jerome.
And Bulk and Skull, you have not looked for them at all.
That was a big thing where it's like, hey, I have these two monkeys, and you know those two guys that used to work for me, and like, you know, join my like detective agency after I left the Force and decided to stick with me. And like, I don't care where they went.
It's like, you remind me of someone. You remind me of
That's
someone.
all he
It's
does.
like, really?
And then
And it's like, where are the people that actually like supported you in your career changes?
Yes.
See, honestly, this is the reason why I go back to it. This is the reason why I say this season has a lot of lazy writing. Because one, you got Tommy, again, with no science expert being there and not establishing someone as a new one, you have everyone doing things out of their character traits. But additionally, you could have done a dope storyline with Lieutenant Stone, having people just search for Bulk and Skull.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to take over the juice bar. Juice bar can be taken over some new random person, whatever. We even explain it. But again, he's searching for the Bulk and Skull. At the same time, he's investigating, what you call it? What's the villain's name?
Divatox?
Divatox.
Oh, okay.
He starts finding out things about her plans and stuff like that. That would be way more interesting than him running the damn juice bar, running go-kart races.
But that's the thing too, especially if Bulk and Skull had to be monkeys to be like, hey, we them trying to like put in clues to be like, no, this is us, and trying to figure that out too. It's like, what? He completely forgets about his.
Why?
It's weird. It's so
Who
weird.
said, let's make this happen? Were Bulk and Skull unavailable? Because if they weren't, what
the
was
reason
the
why
deal?
they're doing their own show. They were doing a pilot for their own TV show.
And they just want to do the
really?
AV work.
Yeah. So the reason why is because they were developing that, and they thought about being a hit, but it didn't really work out. Sadly.
So they were going to give me the thing I always wanted. I didn't even know that.
Oh
And
man,
know
they are my favorite.
You probably know what you want is Bulk and Skull's Power Rangers, or his heroes at least.
Well, ultimately, what we did learn about this episode is that shade does kill. That's what it does, right?
That's what it does.
You throw shade, it definitely can kill.
But
So remember,
also,
kids, don't do
this
it.
show is wrong because it's like shadows are made out of light.
Thank you.
Where is Billy? Where is Billy? Shadows are not made out of light.
It was like, how do you destroy light? It was like
With darkness. Wait,
That's not how you destroy light. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Like, I don't science. I'm not a scientist, but I know some basic things about the world. Like, I went to elementary school, and I know that shadows are not made out of
Shadows
light.
are made from the absence of. Like, that's the whole thing.
There is light,
I don't
and whatever
understand
is
that.
casting.
Oh my god. I did not think about that until you said it. That
I know
is
the
so
whole
true.
thing. That was like, what do I know? So I was like,
And this is another episode we got Jesus and Tommy again, where he's able to do everything. He took out the whole Ranger team by himself without his powers.
Yeah, but also the other thing too, I
Sure.
like how Alpha 6 and Dimitria didn't even warn him. I'll be like, hey, we're watching these guys on our like mysterious viewing globe, and you know, like they steal the powers, and that's how they're doing it. And I like how Justin again does not listen to Tommy. Where Tommy's like, hey, wait. Don't morph because that's how they feel. And he was like, I'm gonna morph into a big Blue Ranger. Immediately gets kicked by his doppelganger in the wiener and then gets like, taken out.
There's a lot of wiener hitting on this episode because when Tommy was fighting with the other Rangers and the Green Ranger gets up top and he goes, Gah! And right in the wiener. And then what's his name gets hit right in the wiener. Everyone.
Like, all the other doppelgangers were shown behind them and they knocked them down, so they didn't know that these things were coming. But like, yo, we have Justin that could see his doppelganger, Evil Ranger, super gang in front of him, and he was like, oh damn, I done messed up.
Yeah, he knew it. He knew it. He was
again,
like,
and Tommy's gotta save me again.
But you understand now why people say this is the worst season.
Oh my god, like, and I don't know if I'm being overly critical because I did like the villain in this. I thought he was super fun. I like the idea of the Shadow Rangers, and it kind of fell flat, but I thought it had a lot of promise. In the beginning of this episode, I was really rooting for it. I really wanted to love it.
But see, that's the problem though. There's a lot of promise here, but again, it goes back to bad writing because they're not taking enough time to explain things or pace things out. Like for example, why does Divatox always have to use a detonator bomb?
I don't get it. And why are you always trying to employ Elgar? Clearly, he is Elgar clearly is an arsonist or a bomber. Okay. Like, he just, anytime they have to, all right, we've got to use a bomb, Elgar's like, oh, he's also happy to do it. He's completely, like, just useless in every way. And I understand why he's there. Nepotism. Makes sense. Yeah. But it's like, she does always have to use a bomb. Every time there's something wrong, what does Divatox do? A bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. It would not work in this day and age. It would not work in this day. People would be like, nope, we can't use that anymore. There's too many bombs. It's not good.
But it doesn't make sense. But it's like, why do they use bombs all the time, though? It's like always a timer and it always gets defused like every single time.
But the thing is, in the next episode, I can't wait till we get to it because I want to talk about that detonator and that bomb that comes out. But I don't know, like, overall, I feel like this episode, it wasn't the worst for me, especially with last week being kind of shocked into this and not watching the movie, not understanding what was going on, and Thomas Franco was right, should have watched the movie. Still looking for it, we'll get to it. But, I don't know, overall, I think because I have such low expectations for this entire freaking season that I would rate this a 4 out of 5, because I think this is as good as it's going to get. I think that this is going to be the pinnacle of what this season is going to be.
Oh, dang. Oh, that is hard.
I have low expectations because I think this is going to be the best of the best, where I'm like at least a little bit intrigued in the beginning.
Okay.
That I have to rate this higher than everything else that's going to come up.
Damn, that's actually influential right there. I didn't think about that.
I know what's coming.
Okay.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but low-key, one of my favorite Power Rangers characters is coming.
Okay.
And they were attached to this terrible show.
Okay.
He legit is like one of my favorite Power Rangers characters that was attached to this show.
Okay, so if you had to rate this, knowing what's going on, what would you rate this episode?
Out of 5, what you got?
So the villain was cool. We had the first LGQ marriage on Power
I
Rangers.
did not think about that. That's huge.
But I would probably have to give this like a 2.5 out of 5.
All right.
Damn, that makes
what about
sense.
you? And for those of you in the chat, we want to see. We want to
know what you guys are giving it. I'm giving it definitely a 3 out of 5. I think it kind of did something for me as far as like, I watched, I chuckled, that was about it. So with that, give it a 3 and let it move on.
Now to the radio station.
So Transmission Impossible, like kind of transitioning from what we were saying about that whole detonator thing, about the whole bomb and Tanya being like super paranoid. And the bomb, the radius of its explosion was like a single person. And I was like, that wouldn't have knocked out anything.
Why? What is the point?
I don't know.
What is the point?
If you want to make bombs, make a legit bomb.
Exactly. Like again, going back to like writing, it would be dope if she was dropping like terraforming bombs, where they would help transport the planet. It's like under her control or something like that. Or they transport to like so they can support their alien life. That would be dope as hell. That would be smart. But they're not doing that. They're just bombs for no effing reason.
She's a pirate and she just likes blowing things up. I don't know. But we do have to go over the scores.
Okay.
Real quick.
What's up?
So audience scores, real quick. We have the blur. We have the blur who gives a 1 out of 5.
Is that the red blue blur?
No, it's just the blur.
The blur.
The blur.
All
the blur gives it a 1 out of 5. We have Blackwing gives it a 3.5 out of 5 for the episode. Jared Hodges 3 out of 5. We've got Cyril Moore 10 out of 10. And last but not least, Funny Cake Comics, which gives it a 4 out of 5. Now there's 26 of you guys watching. Can we get some more scores? Don't be afraid, guys. Talk to us. No one's seeing you. No one knows exactly who you are. Only you do. So share with us. Let us know what's going on. All right. So, wait. There's more. Edward Sanchez. It's Edward Sanchez approved, guys. He gives it a 4 out of 5.
All right. So I'm middling to high for this episode, so I feel a little more vindicated in my 4 rating.
Right.
Spoilers, the rest of them are not going to get that high.
Oh boy, it only gets worse from here.
It's getting lower.
It's bad. This is like the last season of Black Mirror. It only gets worse from here, guys.
It was bad. Oh my god, that's so true.
That is a different show.
Sci-fi show.
That is a sci-fi show.
The sci-fi show.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, this episode, I feel like the most interesting thing, other than like the bomb being blown up and no one getting blasted back or getting hurt, was like Adam and Kat were not wearing the Power Ranger colors. That was the only thing. I was like, Adam, White Ranger? Are you trying to like step up as an outcast? Are you gonna get a new role? And I was getting super hyped about that.
I was.
And then Kat was wearing all the colors, so I thought like she might like explode and like go away. You know, like, oh, you know, like everyone's gonna be gathered around her and she's not a Ranger anymore. And I was like, dang, I am down for this. And it didn't happen.
Where did all this tape for Kat come from with you guys?
Dude, okay. Do you not have a hit?
Where did it start? Where did it start?
After she moved
her first
to Angel
appearance.
Grove, and she was like, because she's this diver and doing all this stuff, and I thought they were gonna make her into an athlete or strong, and like every single episode, it was a slow build. Where like every time she never asked for like, hey, Tanya, like help me out, or hey, Adam, you got my back, or hey, Rocky, let me try to help you out. It's always like, oh, Tommy. Where's Tommy? Or like 3 people will be missing, and she's like, "Where's Tommy? We can't do anything without him. We have no idea."
And I'm sitting there like Tanya and Adam are sitting there like,
"Yo, we do a lot more than you do. At least we train, we spar. Like
I'm right here," and they're like, "Tommy." What? Okay, but I'm like right here. Like, could you not say that?
I gotta respect because you guys are right. Because going to the Turbo movie, the Turbo movie has that exact scene in it.
Dude, everything with her in it has that scene.
They get sent to go find something, and she falls into the river. Is it the first thing? Tommy!
And she's supposed to be an expert swimmer because she was a diver before she got pulled over, and she lost. You know, like she was trying to be an Olympic diver, so she has to know how to swim.
That's literally Aquaman saying, "Oh no!"
I mean, the water. Somebody help me, Tommy. And like she never stands up for herself. Like Tommy always has to be there. And it's like I want to like her. Like I loved her a lot when she was evil and like she transitioned over. I thought her and Tommy were gonna have this great bond and that she was gonna step up and be like, I want to be a leader like you. I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn martial arts.
But instead, she became a damsel of distress.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that in my female characters.
I didn't, and I hate that fact. And it was like, yo, that's why we were like, we love every other female character far more than her.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Especially when she was evil, she was so capable. And
yes.
And she was by herself and trying to take over all the Power Rangers.
And she was really like messing them up.
And
like
now she's
like,
part of a team, and she's like, oh, I don't have to work so hard no more.
Yep.
Like,
I got Tommy.
Yep, it's fine. Tommy's here. Oh my god. But
yeah, so that's where the hate comes from.
and with her being a damsel in distress, let's talk about, starting off this episode, there was a distress call. We got that distress call.
We did, and, from this mystery Ranger.
Yes, who later we find out
turns into like an alpha mutant.
In my head,
like a bootleg RoboCop.
Yes, but in my head, if we like got to recast this episode, I don't know why, I want him to be Keanu Reeves. I don't know why. In my head, I just wanted him to be Keanu Reeves, but he didn't. He didn't fight though, so he can't be.
Because you can't recast Keanu Reeves as anything. It always makes it better.
Yeah, that's
true.
Like if Keanu Reeves was Zordon, this whole show would have wrapped up in 3 weeks.
It's okay. I'll find a body. Like that would have been it.
What do you mean?
I'm just gonna find a body. You're like, wait, what? And he's like, whoa. That would have been it. That's true. That's true. So never mind. But we get the distress call and they're looking for Dimitria. I was shocked. He doesn't ask things in questions though.
It's just her.
Is it her thing? Like no, she has some like weird twitch.
In question, they're all supposed to do it, but you're right though. He didn't do it.
But maybe he's not from there. He's just like a friend that was like, hey, I know you sent me on this grandiose mission to find out about my family. You have a twin. I don't know how you didn't know that, or how your parents didn't tell you that, or how anyone else, But maybe it's like the Anakin Skywalker Padme thing where it's like, I don't know my children. I didn't know I had a brother.
What do you mean? What?
We totally made out in that last movie.
Well, I guess this happened. Yeah, and he's like, I'm perfectly fine with it, but it happened.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh,
it's crazy because it's like you really had to come all the way just to tell us that.
Yeah, that wasn't sensitive information that I feel like Divatox could use against her. In fact, like, isn't it supposed to be Divatox is her twin or something?
Exactly, that was a play. I think this was
yeah. So it's just like that's not super secret information. Send that in a text message, bro. Like, that ain't something you gotta travel all the way over for.
Email, FaceTime.
Anything.
Hey, what's up, Alpha 6? Put Dimitria on, girl.
Guess what?
You got a sister. And
Baby
guess
mama
who she
girl over
is,
here
right?
Because
how did you not figure it out though? You had a twin sister. You never looked at Dimitria and be like, She
look
looks
similar.
familiar. Like, I mean, if Lieutenant Stone can look at the monkeys and say something's familiar,
Yeah.
you got to be able to look at your fucking twin and say, huh, that looks familiar to me. But I guess that's not something that happens. I don't know. But
There's just like a lot of stuff like this episode in particular too. I don't know if they ever explained it, but how does Tanya get a hold of a detonation detector? Where she was
Dude.
like, "Oh, it's going off," and I thought it was gonna be someone to warn her. I
Yeah.
thought like Alpha Sex would be like, "Hey, we picked up some signals, some things are going on.
I
We
thought
saw them
so.
right
No.
outside of your radio
No.
station.
She-
You need to check
no.
it out." And
She
was
flips
like,
out her
"Oh."
two-way. She puts out her two-way, and she's
she's
like, oh
like,
my
"There's a
God, there it
bomb
goes.
somewhere."
Yeah, like,
And I'm like, yo, when did you get that? And also, like, is Divatox like that obvious? Where it's like now you can find her every single time. You'll just go around and be like, "There's a bomb. She's been here. Oh, there's a bomb. She's been
Bombardier,
here."
yeah, like, literally, she should have
Oh,
just had a
man.
villain called Bombardier. It was like, it made sense. It would have been perfect.
You, that
But
was a
they
good
never
one.
That should have
did
been
it,
a
right?
henchman then.
Yeah.
That should have been our main henchman,
It should've been.
Bombardier.
Every
This is
time.
why they always use bombs.
No, but
Because
the
he has
problem is,
infinite upper
no, but the problem is, if it did happen, he would have been some weird kind of creature that it's like, and he pushed out a bomb. And they're like, yes, and he just like tied up and he does nothing but create bombs
That's
because
but I feel
it
like
was
he
just
can fight
scary and
hilarious.
weird.
And it's like his like little catch would be like
Yeah,
bombardment,
bombardment.
bombardment. He just like throws it.
Exactly. And he's like,
And it's a
oh, you-
dodgeball game. It's a dodgeball
Exactly.
game. He's like bombardment.
And every time she sees, he's like, that was Bob-tastic.
Yes!
Oh, man.
He said that was the bomb. They're like, oh,
Oh.
God, shut up. And he's like,
You're Bobby.
oh, yes.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good
It
one.
would have been
Man.
great. See, we could have made this show actually amazing.
In like 30 seconds.
Oh
With
my
playing off each
God.
other, we
That
could make
would
this
have
a
been
lot
Everybody
better.
this could be the Black Eyed Peas song. Boo, boo, boo.
Oh, boo, boo, boo. He just walks out like,
Boo, boo, boo.
he just walks out every time like, hey, everybody. And boo,
Oh,
boo,
man.
boo. Oh, my God. But
Best
they
henchman
did, they did domesticate, what is his name? Vizarod? That was his name. They domesticated him and made him like a dishwasher.
Oh, yeah.
What was that about? I don't understand.
Because
Where did you guys get
Divatox
that
is
from?
like, I just want a minion to do everything that I want, and it's gonna tire him out, and it's gonna break him. So I thought they were gonna like kind of brainwash him and like
Right?
break him to doing like really menial tasks. But it's like, dude, he was super enthusiastic about
He
it.
was
I want a
so
Viserion
happy to
that like
wash
becomes
dishes.
a dishwasher. He was like, yo, there ain't no dishes. I'll just pretend to wash
I'll
dishes.
just pretend I'm washing dishes. And
then
I was
he
like, it's
blows
because
up.
the original footage, yes, but ugh.
Oh, everything
Yes.
was weird. He blows up and then he's magically okay. This guy, like, you know, he has no problems. He's cool. Like, anything that happens to him, he's gonna be cool. So don't worry about it.
One thing that was cool, and once again, it's my man Elgar. He broke the third wall.
Oh.
There was a moment where they're talking about like they're having their victory or whatever, and he goes, "Wouldn't you?" Blah blah blah, and then he winks at
Oh,
the
yeah.
camera. Fourth. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, he broke. I'm sorry. He broke the fourth wall, and he says, "Wouldn't you?" Blah 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 blah, and then it was like wink right at the camera, and I was like, Power Rangers, you guys just grew up right before my eyes.
Unlike
This is
Justin,
great.
who's, like, always a kid.
Unlike Justin, who,
Yeah.
yes, I hate forever.
Or the
Yeah.
writers.
Whoa. Jeez. This review is tough this
It
week,
is.
guys.
I don't know.
It's
Like
tough,
this
but it's
episode
fun.
in particular, it just fell super flat. I feel like there was nothing really spectacular about it. I didn't care about this new guy coming, and the secret he reveals that's been building up the whole episode. I was like, yo, that was the most anticlimactic thing I think you could have said, other than like,
Oh, boy.
I had to stop by because I needed to take a poop or something.
And honestly, again, to go back to it, this is that like this is about episode 5 of the series.
Yeah.
Like they when they explore like Tanya working at the radio station, which is cool. But again, it goes back to like why is she working at a radio station? Like
Yeah.
we know where she came from. Like you think she'd be doing something like humanitarian work or something like that.
But she was
Something
also
always-
a singer to be like, hey, I'm here to promote my new album. I've been working on
yeah,
it
or
for
do
a
something
long
like
time,
that.
or you know.
Exactly.
Right.
Do something more in line with her character that we've established before. Not just have her get a job because Loki, that's the disappointing part. Like Adam's being a stuntman. It's like, guys, why haven't you guys have him like go to college or do something?
Right.
Yeah.
Like tell them grow in their lives. But again, you're just like filling with like these part-time jobs that aren't really developing their characters or
Yeah,
more
well, they already graduated, and that was a big thing. So I was excited to see what they would do in their adult lives.
Definitely.
And then it's really weird because they're not at school. How are they supporting Justin when he's in high school? Because it kind of seems like they're still in high school and they're there to help him, like, you know,
be
assimilate and be grown up and not get bullied. But
No.
they're not in school.
No.
I mean, honestly, what they could have done. Can I do a little spoiler?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, so you know there's going to be a Ranger change at some point.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I saw that.
So honestly, what I feel they should have done with the season is like, honestly, it should have been like graduation, and then the rest of the series with the main cast is their summer before they go to college. And so the whole time they're like doing this, like they're going to college, they're talking about all the stuff they're going to do in their lives.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they always count as a mission, like, but don't forget, we also have to work on that. Don't forget, you need to be working on that thing. Have you found a candidate yet? And then the whole time, the audience like, the fuck are they talking about? And then towards the end, we realize, like, oh shit, the cast is leaving.
Oh, yeah. That would have been a really good one, too.
Exactly. And then she could have like a slow build to it and everything like that, where they start like looking for their candidates and everything. But again, the way they're doing it now just is lazy writing.
But I feel like, how are you going to work Justin into that, too? Because he just became the Ranger. Is he going... I feel like they should have kicked him out, too, and be like, yo, you got to find a new one because you are underage and you're not qualified. You know, like, it's already weird that the parents of these Rangers are not, like, concerned about their well-being, especially since we met, like, a lot of them at parent side and stuff that we know that parents do exist.
It's like not even... But Justin's are non-existent. We have not seen Justin's parents. We have not even addressed them.
Well,
there is no
he is a
concern
Tommy,
or
so-
worry. He is a Tommy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, he just kind of lives on his own. He's wild, footloose, and fancy-free. Just doing what he wants because his parents don't care about him and don't like him as well. So, I mean, that's one thing, at least, that we have in common with his parents. We also don't like him, so it's fine.
This is true.
So, on a scale, how would you rate this particular episode?
2.
Wow.
That's pretty generous.
Wow.
That's pretty
2.
generous.
Okay.
Actually, take that back, 1.5.
Oh, really?
Sorry, I just thought about it more because of RoboCop, and again, I know where it's going because I know that whole storyline with Dimitria and her twin, how that plays out. 1.5.
Yeah.
No spoilers, though. No spoilers.
Yeah, that was super disappointing. I would give it a 1.
Damn.
Like,
I'm
there
sorry.
was nothing
I'm
that built
sorry.
up. Like, I didn't care about any of the villains. Like, when they're like, oh, you have a twin, I was like, they risked their lives and did
my
all of this
God.
stuff for you to tell them, like, something that you could have phoned in. Like, that's... Or put some, like, gravitas, some weight to it to be like,
Yes.
hey, the person you've always been looking for, like, your twin is somewhere out there. Or, like, try to build it up to
Yes.
make it like, oh, maybe she's evil or she was lost or, like, something
They
had
did not
happened
care.
and, like, you know, you're always right. But it was just like, it's fine. But, yeah, it was, like, terrible. It was terrible.
That's the whole thing, and it's just like it could have been better, and it feels like there's just a lazy writing just made it worse and worse and worse, and after a while it becomes almost upsetting. It really does, and it's like, so this is what you thought about us? This is what you chose to give us? Like, you didn't really want to work on this. So we see it, you see it, even the actors see it. So there's something that needs to be changed, and later we do get a change, but it's just too little, too late.
Way too
And
late.
I think
Way
for
too late.
that, ultimately, this episode definitely gets a 1.
All right, so this is a
Do you
low
think
one.
that's the reason why, though? Why it's been so bad is because they know the change is coming. So the writers
Maybe.
are just like really lazy and everything
So
like
they're
that.
like the new Zordons where they're kind of just dropping the ball game and they're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
we'll just wait for the new thing and we'll revamp
And
it
then
like
we'll
that.
exactly.
And
That's
like,
when we'll like get
we'll
invested.
breathe new life into
storylines.
this. But I'm like,
yeah.
yo, this is a brand new season and you introduced it where like it had to be a canon movie that you watched to get into this series. Like, you just seem greedy. You just seem like cash cow money.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. Especially for like the first Power Ranger movie, which wasn't canon. It was after it was an established franchise with the actors that we already know. This one, it's like, I don't even know what happened, but I had to watch that movie to watch this season, and this season is lackluster and weak at the very best.
And
So
only
very
that though,
true.
but the way you catch the whole audience up in case they didn't see the movie is through like a 3-minute video clip.
It's
Isn't
a
But it was a
2-minute
montage. It was a
montage.
montage, but there was no
Doesn't
voiceover.
explain
context.
anything.
And
There's
you
no
just see
context.
explosions, and you just see like random things. I'm like, I
There
watched
was-
it twice, and I was like, I still don't understand
There's
what's going
no
on. I
context
had to read
in
the
it.
Wikipedia to
Yep.
figure out what was going on.
There's no context in it. There's these weird short little animals that look like Angelina Jolie. And I
They
just
look
did,
like, they look like they came out of not
Pan's Labyrinth?
No, but out of the labyrinth with David Bowie and like
or
Muppets.
Dark Crystal.
Yes.
Nightmare fuel is what they were,
Yes.
and I was not okay with it. And like we said, there was no context to it. It was very messy, very rushed. This
Yes.
whole season is
It's
so
terrible.
far,
Except for the
And,
next episode.
Oh,
Except for the
what?
next episode.
Actually, I like.
Nah, get out of here, Johnny. Dope kicks.
Literally,
Hell
what is
no.
wrong? Okay,
You know what
you know what?
happens?
So we gave
All
our
right, let's
scores.
get into
Hold
the
on.
third episode.
Let's
Let's
get
get into the
hold on.
third
Let's get
episode.
their
At some point,
scores.
Oh wait,
Let's
audience scores.
Let's
Let's
get
do
their
the
scores,
audience
and we're
scores
going
for
right into the next episode. Okay, so Blackwing, 2.5 out of 5. Jared Hodges, 2. The Blur, 0.9 out of 5.
All right, dang, that's
we
low.
got,
I like
oh
that.
no, Blur actually changed it and said 0.99 out of 5. Cyril Moore says, 0.9 as well. Funny Comics, 2 out of 5. Yeah, people are not liking this episode. That episode was not good. So,
Let's get
move
into
on.
Rally Ranger. Okay, kick us off.
Hey,
Kick us off.
Warren.
Oh, this is the reason you like
Oh,
the
okay,
episode.
True
okay,
Blue
okay.
Ranger, the real Blue Ranger.
All right, tell
Okay,
tell
go
everybody
ahead.
what
Yes.
your whole thing is.
Yes.
So here's the thing, as we watch this episode, I'm like, okay, At this point, I just stopped caring.
Yep.
And so at this point, when I met Warren, that's why I came up with my whole theory about like, dude, if he was a Blue Ranger, he'd be like Damian Wayne as Robin, where he'd be like a little psychopath, he'd have to be raiding in and stuff like that.
And they rein him in.
Exactly.
They
They have to train him, and then Tommy have a mentor, and be a real mentor relationship. He's trying to make this kid better. Again, as soon as I saw that, I was like, damn, this would be way better. Plus, again, honestly, it must have been the most ridiculous battle I've ever seen in this episode between them and the Porto guy. I was like, this makes no gosh damn sense whatsoever.
They shot him in the butt.
Exactly.
They shot him in the butt. That's exactly what happened with him. I didn't get any to scratch his butt and said, all right, I'm ready to keep going.
Exactly.
There are so many things.
Here's a question. Here's a question. Daniel, please answer this question for me.
Yes.
Why did they call the Zords?
Oh, that's a good question.
This is why I just stopped caring. And this episode, I was just like, fuck it. Because this thing, obviously, y'all don't care. Why should I care?
Yeah.
That is true.
Whatever.
They did not call the Zords when he grew. Every time any monster grows, immediately, what's the answer? I'm going to call my Zord.
No,
right?
but they got their own little race cars that they went to rally up against, and like I was like, oh, so you traded in your shark motorcycles in for some like little race car things,
Race
and
cars.
that's cool.
And then you got
That's
some
cool.
weapons. You literally try to fight this monster with your weapons for
Yes.
some unknown reason in
Yeah.
hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Which I've only seen like a couple times, but this is supposed to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever
Okay,
seen.
one of my biggest things that I noticed that really just kind of grinds my gears was the fact that was the chimps peeling bananas at the cafe. I'm just asking, what's going on with the health code here?
Nothing.
I don't want chimps peeling my bananas.
That's extra protein in your smoothie.
And
man.
then also, he did not, still, up to this point, we are now at episode 6. Why have you not given them names?
Oh, good question.
They don't need names because.
He just said, oh, let me pick up these monkeys. That's it.
But you know what? I am 100% certain that our friend Jerome is going to make more money than Ernie ever did, though. He's going to charge his customers.
Yes.
Ernie never charged his customers.
Because Ernie never
I
did.
feel like the juice bar
Sure.
won't go under with this new management.
Not
so
at all.
This is the one bright side that Ernie's juice bar can continue going on, because that fool had to file like chapter 8 like
Oh, really?
like at least 6 or 7
I think
times
that's
in the
actually.
run of Mighty Morphin alone.
I think that's really what happened. Once again, here goes some background on what happened. I think Ernie probably made some bad deals. You know,
he was,
mafia,
like, kidnapped or
yeah,
something?
no, like Sopranos. You know, like you paid for your protection, blah blah, and then
Oh
he
my
didn't.
God.
So then after that,
what
Alpha
you do-
6 shows up and he's like, you're gonna have to pay your bills, you know, whatever. And then Ernie's missing. Oh, he went with the military somewhere.
Oh, man.
Nope. Alpha
building a
1
bridge.
killed him because he didn't pay up. That's what happened. I mean, Alpha 6 killed him because he didn't pay up.
Yo,
Yeah, exactly.
Ernie.
Hey, Ernie.
Where's my money?
With my
Where's
money,
my
Ernie.
money,
Ernie's
Ernie?
like, Ernie's like,
Where's
well,
my money,
hey,
my
I want to
money?
go. Oh, please stop. Oh, God, no. He's a piece of shit. That's what happened. So that's the truth. You guys don't believe it? Look it up. I bet you it's somewhere. I'll change Wikipedia. But it will be there. And you guys will be like, oh, my God, Daniel was right.
Yep.
Ernie was murdered.
What did we learn? Don't mess with the mob.
That's it.
Hey, that's
it.
a better lesson than we got in all of these other episodes. I mean, it was kind of a heartwarming episode, though, where we get to see the bully, and he actually does say, like, hey, I owe you one. I'm so sorry for being mean. I was jealous of your intellect. I feel like that was okay. I kind of like that message, even though I don't like it that it was between kids.
In the
See, that was
chat.
the thing, though. It's just like, he's like, I don't fit in. I'm just like, bro, when have you had a chance to fit in? We literally have never seen you around other kids. We've only seen you around the Rangers.
Yeah, all you do is hang around older
exactly.
people.
You've never tried to fit in. And that was kind of appealing to me, too, because we haven't seen you at school or anything like that.
Yep.
Instead, we've seen you work on race cars and break them, but we haven't actually seen you around other kids. But I feel you, though.
Well, he also makes box cars and breaks them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of his MO at this point.
And fixes it in one night without any explanation.
I've got to go back.
How'd you fix it with this egghead?
Yo,
No, really,
yeah,
how'd
how'd
you
you
fix
fix
it?
it, though?
Yeah, like,
you
you
had
did
one
not
night.
give us
Like,
an
did it take
answer.
you weeks to build this?
Nope.
How'd you fix it in
Nope.
one night
You
and
didn't
make
give
it
us one
faster?
answer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And oh my
And he was
gosh.
able to catch
Okay.
up, like that race had been going on for several minutes. And he was
Exactly,
like,
exactly. But he shows up again, goes all the way down the hill like the Flash within like
Oh my
3
God,
seconds. I
immediately.
was like, this makes no sense. Also, how long is this hill? How long is this hill?
Are they
Should
just-
children be on this hill?
It's in San
Right.
Francisco, so
It
they go
has
down,
to.
they come back up, they go
And
down,
they go down
again,
again.
then they come back up.
But I'm sorry, in the chat, I just got to point this out about
All
the
right.
Ernie thing. Josh says Ernie had a meth lab in the back of the bar and
Oh.
got caught.
You know,
I can see that. No, Ernie was a meth lab. You don't
Ernie
think so?
doesn't have the intelligence.
Oh,
to
that's
do
true.
that?
That's true
Oh my
because
gosh.
he did like he gave the business
Oh, okay.
away. He gave the business away. So
I gotta say, on
Ernie's
retro,
not
you
too
can be
smart.
the honest truth from people. Y'all be like the characters. Y'all be saying it.
Hey, we are honest. We're honest. This is what happens on retro. You're looking back at something that
Ernie
everyone
is
else
the kind
already
guy.
loved.
He would be
Yes.
like the doorman that's like, yeah, come
That's
in,
true.
see the boss,
just-
and he
That's
just got
true.
knocked. He was like, yo, I told you, you had one rule.
One. All
Well,
you
I mean,
had
like the
was
Power
one.
Rangers, they had 3 rules. It was like, don't share your identity, and they like to break that all the time.
All the
All
time.
the time.
Hey, I like you. I'm a ranger. What? Don't
Why?
stop that.
Why?
Stop that right now. Like, oh,
I mean, if it was a
God.
pickup, I could see Zach doing it. It'd be like, yo,
Zach
girl.
would. Zach like,
He'd be like,
hey, girl,
I'm
I
actually a
gave you
ranger.
pearls and you knew they were fake. It's all right. I'm a ranger. Oh, okay. Now
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
I feel like Zach would be the only one realistically that would just throw that out as like, trying to pick up girls.
Okay,
Oh,
though.
man.
I wouldn't be mad at him for it. He'd be like with TMZ all the time.
Yeah.
He'd have a couple TV shows on MTV. He'd be making that moolah. He'd his Instagram would be blowing up and everything like that. He'd like, look, Zordon, I'll put my life on the line. I gotta get something out of this.
Yep.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
sure.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
I can't hate him for it.
I can go for it. I can go for it. But man, dude, yeah, this episode.
It was weird. And then also the other thing where, like, it was kind of obvious that other kid, your favorite kid, what was his name?
Warren.
That our
Such a good
friend
kid.
Warren G over here was having trouble with his boxcar, and the parents are like, let's watch him crash and burn.
right. They were like insurance money.
Like,
That's all they
everyone
were
is watching
thinking.
this
No,
child
it-
struggle.
Yes.
And then show up, Lieutenant Silver's like, I don't know, Warren can't control his car.
Help
Do
the
something! Do something!
Like,
Throw something like throw a stick in front of it. I don't know something.
or like the bales
No one
of
did
hay, like
anything.
try to slow him
Yes.
down, like funnel him into a safe area. I'm like,
Exactly.
they have to have that. Like, this is not the first
No.
boxcar derby that they
But
have.
then again, it's
Going back,
also
though, sorry to interrupt, but going back to the whole Bob thing. They put a bomb in his car. And
Oh,
the
yeah, that was the other
Bob-
thing.
What
And I was
Bob
like,
did
they
was
were
break
the-
his brake.
that's
Yeah,
all it
and
did.
I was like, wait, your bombs are so. That was the other thing. That was the main thing that I had about this episode. I'm like, wait, number one, why did they
So-
put a detonator in him?
So you
'Cause-
no answer.
So you
Why?
see what I mean? The bomb
Why?
goes off, doesn't kill anybody, breaks a brake on a child's go-kart. The monster turns huge, but they don't call the Zords, and they fight him and shoot him in the butt. At this point, I was just like, you
But
don't
why,
give a
why
fuck?
was the
I don't
detonator?
give a fuck.
It's true.
Why was the detonator in?
I don't
his
even remember.
car?
I tried to
There was no-
I
there
tried
was
to
no
rewatch
reason,
it.
right?
Like I
It,
said, I
it showed
fell
up
asleep.
out of nowhere,
It
and
did.
I could see if it was like, oh, we thought that was gonna be Justin's car, and we wanted, but it's like,
You clearly knew that wasn't Justin's car. You always knew.
He really
Justin's
called
car
it the
was
Blue Bomber.
Yes.
He made it so
There
obvious.
you go.
Yeah.
He was like, "Here it is," and they still did nothing about it.
yeah, and I was like, it just broke that little wooden brake. Oh God,
I don't-
what
there's so much.
is going
There's
on
so much
in
right
this
now.
series so far? So you're gonna get a lot of hate from me.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be so fun.
Told you.
I
This
cannot
episode
wait.
gets a 0.5 for me.
Oh,
It's
dang!
terrible.
Why don't you just give it the 0?
All right, I'll give it a 0.
Give it the 0
I'll give it a
because
0.
there's nothing else. I can't believe you would
What
do
are you
that.
talking about,
I'm giving it a
Warren?
1.
was a
You're
potential
just
Blue
mean.
Ranger.
Warren doesn't amount to anything. We all know it. None of the side characters amount to anything. Otherwise, any of those side characters introduced in the high school would have been the Blue
Would've been a
Ranger
Blue
and not
Yep,
Justin.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Any
very true.
of those kids. I would rather see Sean, that was a bully to Tanya, and had
Oh,
like multiple
yeah.
chances, and they give him another chance, and he becomes a Ranger, and he redeems himself.
Right.
That would have been good to me.
That
And
would've been
him
dope.
and
That would've
Tanya
been dope.
work it out. Although
would've
I want
been
Tanya
dope.
and Adam to hook up.
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah.
if that made Ernie the Blue Ranger. Then he would have a real reason to leave.
That's true.
Oh, I'm not doing this, guys. What? People shooting us? I'm out. That would have been
I'm
it.
going to
Ernie's like,
Amazon.
yeah. Ernie's like, I'll go to the military. No one shoots at me there. Like, it's just like, I don't know. No, but that probably would have been better. Or that, who was that? The cool techie guy that was there. Their high school. I forgot his
Yeah.
name. He had the curly hair and everything. I love that guy. That guy would have been
He
great.
could have, but he should have been the new Billy. He should have been the guy
Uh-huh.
in the chair that all the
Yeah.
superheroes got. He would have been Ned for Spider-Man. You know, like he is the one that should have been at the command
Wow.
center. Kill Alpha 6. Get rid of Dimitria. Just break that glass cylinder, and then he is the new guy in the command center.
Well then, with that,
so
let's
dumb.
immediately
It's
let's
so
let's hear our ratings. We already did. You got
So
0.
dumb.
I've got a 1. And what are you hitting with?
Why did they not call the Zords?
Is that why did they not call the Zords out of 5? Is that what you're giving me?
It's so dumb out of 5.
Wow. Okay, there it is. Like this is not a good
For
one.
those of you in
And
the chat, let us know.
I am
because
loving
if
it.
you guys love
it's-
this episode,
oh,
I
they're
would
they're
also
giving
love.
it. They're giving
It's
the
bad.
ratings.
Because
They're
I
giving
would,
the
if
ratings.
anyone else likes it, if any of you out there like it, I would want to know why.
No one is saying they like it.
So-
Jared Hodges gives it a I give Mighty 1. My God,
Black Wing
Blackwing.
gives it a don't blame the show, blame Car Ranger out of 5.
Oh my God, these
and
ratings
then
are actually getting pretty good. These ratings are pretty good, though.
waiting for TJ and the others to show up out of 5.
Damn.
The Blur
That's
gives
good
it a -5 out of 5.
All right.
Oh my God. Funny K Comics says scoreless for Rally Ranger out of 5.
Damn.
All right.
Can't wait for Turbo movie, and they're just done. People are done. That is that makes sense. It's donezo.
I feel like if you
agree.
gave this season an honest chance and then you got to this episode, 100% would have dropped off. And I don't feel like anyone could be mad about that. Like, if you gave it an honest go, I feel like 5 episodes is kind of like, okay, you're trying to find your legs.
Yeah.
But by 6, I'd be like, yo,
No.
I'm out.
No.
I'm out. Power Rangers isn't what it used to be. Like, it's always been, like, not really good with continuity and consistency and
very
stuff
true.
like that. But this blows it out of the water by a significant proportion.
Boy, oh
like, I
boy.
felt like I feel like Justin wrote this episode and he is not as smart as he seems. Like, it seems like something that an elementary kid would write, where it's like, oh, I have all these
And then
ideas.
he bullies me, but then through the power of friendship, he learns he shouldn't do that. And we shake hands. I say, have a good race. Man, I'm good.
But that's better than
literally
what
what
happened here, man. Like, this is terrible.
Literally, I write
so
it.
bad.
Oh my God.
Like, honestly, it just kind of shows again that, because again, by this point in time, we'd have a clear like arc for the season.
Yeah.
Like, this is the goal. This is what the villains are trying to do. All these different things. But at this point,
I have no
we
idea.
have no idea what the villains are trying to do.
All I know is that
the
she
villains
like
don't even see
bombs.
like threats. And again, the Rangers are just kind of like they're just there. Just like it's just damn, it's bad.
Yeah.
And like even the consistency for like Divatox, because she's like an ocean
She's a pirate.
villain, a
She's a
pirate,
pirate.
and a lot of things. And I thought a lot of her puns would deal with these. There was something in there. She's like, oh, like a canary or like a bird or something. I'm like, why aren't you using ocean puns? Isn't that what
Yes.
you're familiar with? How do you
Yes.
know all these like earth animals out of nowhere?
And honestly, she's like one of the worst villains we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yes.
literally see Elgar like clipping her toenails. It's like, no, I want them rounded, not square. I'm just
What
like,
the hell?
like, bruh, like after us having Lord Zed, Rita Repulsa, the Robot Army, like all the
Yeah,
badass
the
things
Machine
we've had.
Empire
Yeah,
with
yeah,
intimidating numbers, and she has these like bumbling buffoons on a submarine, and nothing makes sense.
Like honestly, the Rangers
none.
should be like, bro, we should wrap this up in a week. Like, we should
Yeah,
be done
really.
with
Like they're
this.
like, you know what? We weren't gonna do this, but let's just. She's in a submarine in a lake. Let's just blow it up. I'm done.
And
I
as
gotta
they
go
should have
home.
wrapped it up, we're going to wrap it up here.
Yes, we
and if
are.
you want to hear us complain more, next week we'll be here on YouTube at Sunday at 5 o'clock.
That's right.
Streaming live.
That's right.
Please join us. Chat us up about all the things. And,
We'll love to do it. So where can everyone find you?
Oh, I'm Elsie on Instagram.
I'm Battlestar Galactica on Instagram.
And our guest?
also for you, Johnny, it's a little bit more. A little bit more.
Yes, I want you to
I
promote.
want you to promote.
Where
I
are
want
you
you
going
to
to
plug
be
where you're gonna be, man.
in the middle of July, and
Yep.
what are you
Oh,
promoting?
thank you. So in the middle of July, I'll be at San Diego Comic Con.
Yes.
We will all